brought up the microbiome, and we know that the research is just scratching the surface there with what or how changes in the microbiome affect our health. With everyone, using these hand sanitizers, wiping things down with Lysol, and I think, disinfecting to the max. What are your thoughts with the downstream effects of this behavior?
This is where my focus now is. The last month or so, I've been focused a lot on understanding, the immune system, immune resilience. But I think that, some of you may have heard of something called the hygiene hypothesis, which is basically a thesis of, or hypothesis thinking about the effects of over sterilizing our environments and the effects that has on our immune system. Because remember, what we talked about here is this balance, this synergy between the resistant side of our immune system and our tolerant side of our immune system. Because if we really focus a lot on the resistant side and forget about the tolerance, and we push our body that way, then we are not going to have the ability to be able to regulate the exposure to things like, food, substances, and things in our environment, such as allergies. Mm-hmm. And being exposed to little bits of bacteria and substances like viruses and parasites, the immune system learns what is healthy and what is not, and it starts creating a healthy response. And so if you live in an extremely sanitized environment, the first downstream negative effect is that our body, especially a developing immune system like children, are not going to be exposed to the same amount of pathogens that is going to develop its healthy, robust immunity. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing. And that has been well researched to show that there's an increased incidence of allergies, atopic conditions like eczema. And that's just basically the immune system overreacting to things that it normally should not. The second thing that you just mentioned in terms of oversanitization to the max is that directly, even in small microscopic amounts, you touch something that was sanitized, you put it in your mouth, you're consuming things more, you're breathing things more that, if you see all those pictures of other countries going around and sanitizing their whole streets. I personally think that's a really bad idea, because you're inhaling all these things and it's killing bacteria. It's mm-hmm. killing your own microbiome. Mm-hmm. And that microbiome, the diversity, plays a key role in producing all these immune supportive substances, vitamins, short chain fatty acids like butyrate, which are incredibly anti-inflammatory. And so we don't even understand half the negative effects that this is going to have downstream. Mm-hmm. And I'm personally now more focused on not being directly antiviral with anything. I'm now focused on how do we maintain our microbiome, which ultimately is going to have the most potent protective effect, both from a resilient as well as from a tolerant perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I think there's going to be a lot of interesting research coming our way as more data is being collected.
We're still scratching the surface.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to know, but I think we need to understand what we do know. We actually know from what has been done and just understanding systems biology. We know a lot more than the average kind of, I think, that is being talked about in the conventional healthcare system. Mm-hmm. For us to develop proper herd immunity is about keeping a balanced and healthy immune system. We are never going to be able to sanitize our way out of this problem. That's always a short-term solution. So what are the key things that are going to build immune resilience and tolerance? Vitamin D, zinc, vitamin C, healthy sleep patterns and getting adequate melatonin. All those things are key prerequisites to having a healthy immune